I can't even tell you how many people, upon hearing that, hey, I'm moving to Korea, they would say, oh, be careful so you don't accidentally go to the north. I'm like, yeah, I'll make sure to not inadvertently go to the wrong country. When it comes to countries we don't know a lot about, we have this tendency to say the first thing that comes to mind. And for South Korea, it's usually the neighbor that comes to mind. Nowadays, you know, there's more K-pop, demon hunters, and lots of stuff that's really becoming more well-known, and I love that, because then maybe finally people will talk about something else, right? Talk about something else. Read a book, I don't know. Hey, this is a message to future me as I'm living life in Korea, and I thought I'd take a moment to reflect and look back on these past 6 months roughly and share it with my future self, but also with you, and yeah, just see how I'm feeling, life in Korea, some learnings along the way, I guess. But long reflection short, I like it here, and I'm probably the happiest I've ever been on account of quitting my job and focusing on all the creative things that I love to do. But it's also made me maybe the most stressed I've ever been, because I've got so much figured out and there's so much I still haven't figured out. So yeah, let's talk about it. So anyway, I moved to Korea about 6 months ago, and I figured I'd make a video to help people figure out if that might be the right decision for them. So these are just some learnings and takeaways that I've experienced while living here for the better part of a year now. My first thought is, if you're not happy where you are, you will not be happy in Korea. I mean, you really can't outrun yourself. You can't escape from yourself. So if you have things you need to work on, maybe you'll trigger some kind of insight by, you know, making a big change in your life, such as moving here. But ultimately, you have to find happiness where you are. And one of the things I learned about myself after moving here is that I need nature. I need to immerse myself in the green. In the green is where I feel happy. And Seoul is a great city, but my God, it does not have many parks. It has so much traffic, just like 6-lane roads everywhere. Not that many opportunities to just sit down, rest, and shower in nature. Get that green bath. And yeah, I just, let's talk and walk. The longer I stayed here, I realized there was this craving, this feeling of something that was missing, and I didn't quite understand what it was until it clicked. Oh, it's nature. I'm not getting enough. I'm not getting enough of this stuff. I think as time passed, I just felt like I'm trapped in this concrete jungle, and that's why you need to find places like this where you can get a break. But you have to realize it. I don't know, Korea is full of so much great nature, but most of it is not in Seoul. There's just people and cars here, and super tall buildings. So many super tall buildings. Another amazing thing about living in Korea is this sense of safety and peace. Like, you can walk the street at night in almost any neighborhood, and with, of course, like the usual precautions, you're safe. Like, no one's gonna really harass you. And of course, there's like CCTV on literally every street, everywhere, times a billion. But it's just a great feeling to leave the house knowing that no matter where I go or what I do, people are mostly gonna leave me alone, my stuff won't get stolen, and that does give you a sense of peace that is really, really lovely. I love that. Personal safety is one thing, but physical safety, I have a bit of a problem with. So there are so many people in Seoul, right? There's so many pedestrians, bicyclists, mopeds, cars. Everyone has a place to be, somewhere they want to go, and they gotta go fast. And something that I've really needed to learn in these past 6 months is spatial awareness, because people will zoom past you on their bike, mopeds, delivering fried chicken or something. But even crossing the street, like the light turns green and you think, okay, I'm safe to go, but actually make sure to check left and right, because some cars will still like zoom past a couple seconds into that green light. So that's something that's been a bit hard to adapt to, I would say. So be mindful, be mindful. Don't just put your AirPods in and close your eyes. Stay awake. Another thing I've felt in the past 6 months is really the importance of having a goal. I spoke about happiness before and how no matter where you are, you have to make and find your own happiness. And having a goal helps so much. So my goals have shifted a bit since I moved here. In fact, I'm a big fan of Chris Broad and his Abroad in Japan YouTube channel, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a similar one for Korea? Because I want to explore Korea, I want to get to know the country, I want to show it to the world, right? So I figured that'll be my goal. That was a big part of what I saw myself doing here when I came here. But as it turns out, I mean, for one, that guy's a master. He's so good at what he does, but the effort and energy that goes into not only traveling somewhere, but enjoying it and telling a good story is really difficult. I declare this to be the officially highest banana drink in all of Korea. Now, I tried my best, and there's actually quite a few good videos on this channel that you can watch right now if you want to, explore Korea a bit. But I realized I was neglecting my personal goals. And my personal goals, they revolve around art, around creativity and making and sharing stuff with the world. My stuff, right? And I still think the over 60 videos I made in the past few months have helped me remarkably level up my video making game and my storytelling. So all in all, it was really good. I think it's helping me now, but I think I can't focus on just travel videos. That's not gonna work for me. If your goal, or the goal you thought you had, isn't making you happy, then you should change your goal. And the past 2 months, I've been focusing so much on my own art and where I want to take it, but also how I can contribute locally to help other creative people do their thing. So anyway, long-winded way to say, have a goal, but don't be afraid to change it. Don't be afraid to, separate personal goals and life goals and artistic ones. Do some thinking, all right? Do some thinking. Where to next? So another thing about Korea is people are really kind. To illustrate, I was riding the subway recently, right? And this really eccentric looking old dude just starts chatting me up, and he's like, hey, you look a bit thin. Are you eating enough? I'm like, yeah, I eat enough. Korean people's portion sizes are humongous. But then he just kind of like you're not eating enough, ruffles into his bag and pulls out a zucchini and gives it to me. I'm like, thank you. And he really insisted. He was like, dude, you gotta eat this zucchini or I'll kill you. So, you know, people, even strangers sometimes, they'll chat you up and they're friendly and they might surprise you. Surprise that could come in the form of a zucchini. So learn a couple words in Korean. That's it might do you well. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the separation of the countries. I mean, one of the most kind of well-known, famous things about Korea is their zany neighbor and the many strange things they do and get up to. But what's often overlooked is the people that still live with the separation of the countries and its consequences. Even in my short time here, I've met multiple people who have a connection to the North, whether that's through a distant relative or a possibly living relative. It's still very much an emotional, a sensitive thing. And while day-to-day life here, people don't really think so much about the North, no one really sees it as a threat, but it's certainly not a joking matter. In fact, I find that in the rest of the world, we like to joke a lot about the funny bizarreness of South Korea's neighbor, but I think maybe it's time to focus on the stories, the impact that history has had on everyone living here even today. Yeah, I would just encourage you to be sensitive about it and don't make any weird comments, right? Actually, since I said the North isn't really thought of as a threat here, let's talk a bit about public enemy number one. Yes, pigeons. Pigeons are so hated here. I don't know. Basically every street you walk down, you'll find signs that are like, "Don't you dare give food to pigeons. Don't even think about it." I like pigeons. They're sweet. And actually, if you, I learned this recently, but we basically, I mean, we used to raise pigeons, right, for sending messages during wartime and other non-war times, I guess. But we abandoned them. We had so many of them, and then they took to the streets. We made the pigeons homeless, and now we're saying, don't feed them. Don't even dream of it. So I feel a lot of sympathy for the pigeons, personally. They're quite sweet, you know, they're just minding their own business. I mean, how can you hate on this bad boy, huh? So cute. Public enemy number one. And to just round things off, if you're gonna spend any time in Seoul, just know that there's so many hidden places like this that you might not think to visit, but if you're spending more than a week or two in Seoul, you might really benefit from taking a break and coming to a nice greenhouse. Granted, today's like Thursday, so there's like no one here. I have it all to myself. That's why I'm being such a YouTuber in here right now. All in all, I guess I just want to say moving here was a great decision. I like living here, but most of all, I'm happy that I'm finally spending my time on things that matter to me. I can't keep doing it if I don't make any money at all, but for now, knowing that and that I can do it anywhere in the world, it's giving me something. I'm feeling the stardust inside me. I can feel the star power emerging. So, if you have any questions about life in Korea, or, you know, write them in the comments. I'll make sure to answer them as well as I can. A basic one that some people might ask about is, what kind of visa do I have here? It's a holiday visa. Yeah, it's valid for a year, so yeah, good enough for now. I hope this was useful to you. It's kind of a personal video, a little bit. I'm hoping it'll be something nice to look back on for myself and maybe for a couple of others. So yeah, thank you. See ya.